Hello everyone, I am Captain Galate and welcome back to another season of Draft League. It's been quite some time since the last season of Draft League that we did, but I'm really excited to do another one of these VBL tournaments because I really enjoyed it and I was actually good at it. I didn't know, but we actually went 10-0 and claiming that championship title, which was really great. The reasons why I didn't record was just technical difficulties and stuff like that. I still have the replay, so if you want to still see those, I'll put them in the description or in the comments if you guys like that. But about this season, I'm really excited. Holy damn. It's the first time we're gonna do Generation 7 and probably also the last time. And last time we did it, it was still Generation 6, so a lot of things have changed since then. The crew of people that we play with this time is also a lot slimmer than the last time because a lot of people lost their interest in Pokemon in general. So that's just kind of the thing that's happened lately. And I hope the new generation Pokemon with Sword and Shield will get that magic back and get a lot of my friends back into Pokemon because it was such a shame. We had so much fun. But yeah, what you're gonna do about that? A little side note, I didn't keep up with all the meta of Generation 7. I did very well in Generation 6. I was a gym leader, I was an Elite 4. So I was a very experienced battler back then. But right now, I'm not. I'm kind of rusty. I have done some random battles just to keep up a little bit, but I hope it's enough to still perform well in this tournament. So with all of that introduction out of the way, we can go into what Pokemon were drafted to represent the Eindhoven Electivires for VBL Season 2. Now for the first pick, I went with something I was already familiar with. I used it in my Mono Psychic gym, I used it in my Elite 4 team at one point, and I also used it very effectively last season in the VBL. So I present to you the Pokemon with the Victory Star Victini. Now I don't think Victini needs a lot of introduction anymore. It has a 100 base stat all across the board. It has a phenomenal move pool. It can function as a very effective wall breaker, as well as some bulky sets that I haven't explored yet, but I will this season because the speed tiers are all different now. I don't have to choice scarf it every time anymore like I did last season. I think I scarfed it almost every other battle. So I'm ready to experiment with it and get more into what it can actually do and get into its full potential because I barely scratched the surface of that. So get ready for more Victini this season and I'm sure it will perform very well. For the second pick, I went with a Pokemon that I actually never use in any format, but I know it will be a great addition to the team. I decided to go with Mamoswine. Mamoswine is mainly a check for those fast dragons like Naganadel, but also for those Pokemon with a double ice weakness like Landorus Therian, which is a really big threat still. It was a big threat in Generation 6 and still in Generation 7. Those just have to be afraid of an ice shard. It's simple as that. Even without a life orb or without a choice band, that's gonna do a tremendous amount of damage. And other than that, it can also set up stealth rocks, which is always a nice thing. It hits super hard with a stab earthquake plus thick fat. Actually makes it so that it only takes neutral damage from fire type moves, so that takes away one weakness, so that's really nice. So it can survive the fire type hit and then just revenge kill, so that's really good and another strong Pokemon to add to the team. Now for the third pick, oh boy, I was upset with it. Oh my god. Freaking John, who represents the Texas Arcanines, he sniped my Mega Aggron. I actually wanted him to add him to my team once again because that thing is an absolute monster. It just doesn't die. So my third pick was actually kind of a panic pick. To be completely honest, it wasn't that great. I'm not really happy about that pick, but oh well. My third pick is Bronzong. Like I already said, it wasn't all that great, but because of its speed of 33, it's actually a great Trick Room user in combination with Gyro Ball. So that's really great. It also gives me another Stealth Rocker, and its ability aren't that bad. Like Levitate makes it completely immune to ground, and Heat Proof works just like Thick Fat, but only with fire type moves, so the two weaknesses are checked off. Plus, with me, they never know what I bring of the two abilities. So I might bluff either of the abilities and then run completely the other one and catch them off guard with that, so they won't just Earthquake me or use a Fire type move. More likely the Fire type move, because Earthquake just does nothing then and you'll be wasting a turn. But yeah, I think that really fits my style of battling, so overall not a really bad pick. For the fourth member, I went with a Pokemon I'm actually kind of familiar with already, because I use it quite a bit in OU. I went with the Guardian of Pony Island. I give you Tapu Fini. The Tapu Fini allows me to set up that misty terrain. That prevents me from getting any kind of status effect like burn or paralysis. On top of that, it also has a great typing, a great bulk, and also great special attack stat, so it can fire off some powerful Moonblast, Scalds, or Ice Beams and stuff like that. It also gets access to Defog, which is really necessary to get rid of hazards with two Pokemon in my team that are already weak to rocks. So Tapu Fini, a great addition to the team. The next member of our team is also a Pokemon that I never used, but I'm very curious to see what it can do. I present to you member number 5, Tornadus Incarnate. At this point of the draft, everybody already picked their Mega, so I wasn't really stressing about that anymore. Also, Tornadus Therian was already picked, so I couldn't pick that anymore for my free spaces. But this pick, I think, is kind of an interesting one, and also one that I'm more than happy about the more I look into it actually. Tornadus Incarnate has access to the ability Prankster, which makes it a great support for my team, setting up priority Tailwind or Defog. Even if it's about to faint from an upcoming turn against a super fast Pokemon, it can still be very useful by using that Tailwind or that Defog. And I say super fast Pokemon because with a base speed stat of 111, it makes it faster than any of the Lotties, it makes it faster than Infernape, and also like the great threat of Alolan Raichu. With that speed, it also is a great U-turner to gain some momentum, and also with its move pool, it can be a great use of Z crystals like the Flyim Z or the Fightim Z, which we have no limit to in this league, so that's something the opponent should really be looking out for. Now pick number 5 is a Pokemon that I just loved in the last season, so I brought it again for more. I present you Heliolisk. Heliolisk was such a great addition to the team last time because it was such a special offensive threat with a great speed, great special attack stat, and more importantly the ability Dry Skin, which makes it immune to water type attacks. And that in combination with Mamoswine, in combination with Victini, that is a great combo. They just fit super well together because they cover each other's weaknesses, sorta. And I also cover the other weaknesses actually with Tornadus, so they kind of fit together. You see kind of the puzzle fitting in together now. It's very predictable in what it can do, but it's very good at it. So I thought it was a great addition to add to the team once again. Now we got to my 6th pick, where I was second last in line. I was looking at tier 5 because there are actually some good Pokemon in it, and I had to draft one from that tier anyways. So I ended up drafting Credilli. Now, Credilli is one of those forgotten Pokemon, at least for me, but it's still kinda scary. Other than just setting up rocks, it can also stockpile to boost both the defenses, so stalling becomes a little easier. It also gets a great ability in Storm Drain, so another Pokemon with a water immunity. It might be easy to shut down with Taunt or whatever, but if there's an opening for this Pokemon to just hop in and do what it does best, this Pokemon can just tear up your team by just sitting there, and honestly, that's pretty scary. For my 8th round pick, I decided to go with the Pokemon that I just loved using in my Mono Ice team that I had for quite a long time. So I chose the beautiful Alolan Ninetales. I know Ice and Fairy have a great weakness to Steel, but Alolan Ninetales can do something no other Pokemon can do so far, and that is set up dual screens in just one single turn. That by itself makes it a great support Pokemon. But it can also start setting up nasty plots and start a mad sweep. So there's still some diversity to it. Alolan Ninetales also trades 9 attack points for 9 speed points, which makes it faster than its Cantonian form, sitting at a speed of 109, just like Heliolisk. Another great move that especially offensive types are known for is Freeze Dry, which allows them to deal with bulkier water types or water types in general, especially with the water ground types and water grass types. So that's really great, and I think Alolan Ninetales can get the job done. And also, one of the main reasons I also drafted it is just because it can set up the hill, it can interrupt other weather teams like rain, sun, sand, and just disrupting their whole strategy about that. So that's one plus side on that. So I think Ninetales will therefore be a great addition to my team. The next pick, well, I just had to. This Pokemon I have experience with more than any other. I used it so many times in my Mono Psychic gyms, also in Generation 7 OU now actually. So I present to you the mascot of my channel, Gallade. I'm not sure if I should tell you all what it can do, but let me just say that I just love this Pokemon normal form a million times better than its Mega form, design-wise but also in battle. Most of the time I surprise people by bringing uncommon bulkier sets, so maybe I will try the opposite for this tournament, or not. I mean, I'm good at it, so why would I change the plan? Anyways, Gallade is just a great Pokemon. It has great abilities, has great setup potential, it gets plenty of support moves as well. So, super diverse Pokemon in what it can do, which is one of the reasons that I love using it and I had to draft it. Now for the 10th round pick, I finally drafted my Mega. I knew for a long time that I wanted this Mega, but I decided to wait a little bit longer since everybody already drafted their Mega, so there wasn't really stress about getting sniped or whatever, so I just waited long time. So I finally drafted it because this Mega, I know it puts so much pressure on a team and it just fitted. It was fitting some typings that it was missing, it fitted because it covered some weaknesses that my team still had. So I present to you the Mega that we are gonna bring. It's going to be Mega Gyarados. Okay, first, let me tell you that I didn't plan on picking my Mega till the very last turn, because that would make sense, no one would snipe my Mega, but I needed some time to think about my last pick, because for the 3rd time I got sniped on that. I really wanted Vikavolt, but that one was gone right before my own pick, so I was really mad, really salty about that. But anyways, Mega Gyarados, I was sure I wanted, just because of the threat it can be. After a Dragon Dance, that thing just becomes a killing machine. It doesn't have the widest move pool, but just like Heliolisk, it gets the job done. It will either be an early game wall breaker or late game sweeper, and I would just rather have it on my side of the field than facing one, that is absolutely for sure. Now for my last pick, I still was kinda heartbroken about the nasty snipe, and I just didn't have much points left, so my options were really limited. But I went with something that I was sort of familiar with, so I decided to go with Golbat. Now Golbat will serve the same part as Crobat did for me last time, which did a superb job at it actually. It's rather fast, of course not as fast as Crobat, but it's still decent. So Taunts and Defox, those are probably the moves that I run the most frequently on it, along with Roost, Brave Bird, and maybe Super Fang. And with an Eviolite, Golbat becomes actually super bulky, which allows it to support and also stall even more. And with that, we have 11 Pokemon to represent the Eindhoven Electivires in VBL Season 2. Some new faces and some old friends, which I hope and I believe that will make a great team together. I know I might be lacking on some power or some bulk in some places, but those snipes just really messed up my plans. But hey, that's part of the game, right? So I'm gonna try and make the best of it. And besides that, I am allowed to make some trades, so I think I'll make use of that this time around. And next week, the first battles will actually already start, so I'm gonna get ready for those. If you enjoy these kind of videos, don't forget to leave a like or a comment, or maybe even consider subscribing. Who knows? That's it for this video. I'll be signing off, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Adieu.